Hello, sea lovers. I'm Nobichin, and welcome back to Nobichin CTV. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our oceanic adventures. Imagine an underwater predator that has roamed the oceans for millions of years, perfectly designed to rule its domain. This is the great white shark, one of the most iconic and awe-inspiring creatures to ever inhabit our planet. The great white shark, Carcharodon carcharodea, is a marvel of nature's engineering. Let's dive deep into the anatomy of this apex predator and uncover what makes it such a deadly force in the ocean. The first thing you'll notice about a great white shark is its sheer size. These creatures can reach lengths of up to 6 meters, about 20 feet, and can weigh as much as 2,200 kilograms, around 4,850 pounds. To put it in perspective, that's about the same size as a small school bus or a full-grown elephant. But size alone doesn't make this predator so effective. It's the exquisite design of its body. The great white's body is perfectly built for speed and efficiency. Its streamlined, torpedo-like shape allows it to move through the water with minimal resistance, enabling it to reach speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour, 37 miles per hour. In short bursts, that's faster than the top speed of an Olympic swimmer. When a great white lunges toward its prey, it does so with incredible precision, using its muscular tail to propel itself forward with a sudden, explosive surge. But let's talk about the real star of the show, the great white's jaw. This isn't just any jaw. The great white's teeth are some of the most sophisticated tools in the animal kingdom. As the shark opens its massive mouth, rows of razor-sharp, triangular teeth are revealed, designed for cutting through flesh and bone with ease. In fact, great white sharks have up to 300 teeth in their mouths at any given time, constantly rotating out as they lose them in the heat of battle. These teeth are not just pointed for show, they are serrated like a steak knife, ensuring that once they grab hold of their prey, it's game over. Now, it's not just their jaws that are fascinating. The great white shark's senses are truly mind-blowing. They possess a sense of smell that's like no other creature on Earth. A great white can detect a single drop of blood in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, thanks to specialized organs called ampulla of Lorenzini. These organs are scattered across the shark's snout and can detect even the faintest electrical signals given off by the movement of living creatures. If a great white is within miles of its prey, it's almost inevitable that it will find it. And let's not forget about the shark's unique and powerful tail. Known as a caudal fin, the great white's tail is its engine. This broad, muscular fin allows it to propel itself forward with great force, even while maintaining a high speed. The tail's movement is what enables the shark to swim in a straight line, making its hunting strategies so effective. It's like having the perfect combination of stealth and speed in one powerful predator. The great white shark is a true masterpiece of evolution, each feature finely tuned for survival in the unpredictable world of the ocean. From its razor-sharp teeth and extraordinary senses to its sleek, hydrodynamic body, everything about the great white is designed to make it an effective predator and a remarkable survivor. When you think about sharks, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it the terrifying image of a massive great white lunging from the depths with its jaws wide open? If you've ever seen a blockbuster movie, like Jaws, you're not alone. The media, films, and even some sensationalized news stories have painted sharks as ruthless, bloodthirsty killers. But is this image really the truth? Let's dive into the common misconceptions about shark attacks and reveal what's really going on beneath the surface. For decades, sharks have been unfairly villainous. The image of a shark attack often appears in movies or the news with a sense of inevitability, as if these majestic creatures are hunting down humans. But the truth is far less sensational. Shark attacks are exceedingly rare, and when they do occur, they are often cases of mistaken identity. Misconception number 1. Sharks are constantly hunting humans. One of the biggest myths is that sharks are on the prowl, waiting to make humans their next meal. In reality, sharks don't actively seek humans out as prey. They are opportunistic hunters, meaning they hunt animals that are readily available in their environment, like seals, fish, and smaller marine creatures. So, why do shark attacks happen? Then, sharks have incredibly sharp senses, including the ability to detect electrical impulses from other animals. This allows them to sense the movement of prey from far away. Sometimes, in the murky water or from below, they might mistake a swimmer or surfer for their usual prey, a seal. For example, the shark's bite is often a test, a way for it to assess whether the potential meal is worth pursuing. Misconception number 2. All shark attacks are fatal. Another common myth is that when sharks attack, it's a death sentence. This idea is often reinforced by sensational headlines or graphic images that focus only on the most extreme cases. In reality, most shark attacks are not fatal. In fact, the vast majority of shark attacks result in minor injuries, such as cuts or bruises, and sharks typically swim away once they realize the human is not their intended prey. Misconception number 3. Shark attacks are a common occurrence. According to the International Shark Attack File, there were just 57 confirmed, unprovoked shark attacks worldwide in 2020. To put that into perspective, you are more likely to be struck by lightning, bitten by a dog, or injured in a car accident than to encounter a shark attack. In fact, the odds of being attacked by a shark are about 1 in 11.5 million. Misconception number 4. Sharks are aggressive toward humans. Sharks have long been stereotyped as ruthless and aggressive predators. However, this portrayal couldn't be further from the truth. Sharks are generally very shy creatures that prefer to avoid humans when possible. They're not out there hunting people. In fact, they are often just as scared of humans as we are of them. When sharks do approach humans, it's often because they are curious or simply trying to investigate something unfamiliar. They may circle a swimmer or a diver, but this is more of an inquisitive behavior than an act of aggression. Most sharks are not territorial or vengeful. They are just opportunistic predators trying to find food. If they don't find what they're looking for, they usually swim away, leaving us unharmed. Shark attacks. Just hearing the words can send a chill down anyone's spine. After all, the media and blockbuster movies have made them seem like a constant threat lurking just beneath the surface. But what does the data really say? Are sharks really as dangerous as we've been led to believe, or are these attacks much rarer than we think? Let's take a closer look at the cold, hard numbers behind shark attacks and find out the truth. The rare reality. First, let's clear something up. Shark attacks are incredibly rare. According to the International Shark Attack File SAF, there were only 57 confirmed unprovoked shark attacks worldwide in 2020. To put that into perspective, there are millions of people who swim in the oceans every single day, and the odds of encountering a shark are minuscule, less than 1 in 11.5 million. What types of attacks occur? While a shark attack sounds terrifying, not all attacks are the same. Most shark encounters are not fatal. In fact, over 80% of shark attacks are classified as unprovoked bites, meaning the shark wasn't intentionally targeting the person. Rather, these attacks are often the result of the shark investigating something unfamiliar in its environment. In these situations, a shark might bite a swimmer or surfer, mistaking them for its natural prey, like a seal. However, despite their fearsome reputation, only around 10% of these attacks result in fatalities. Shark bites are often shallow, with the shark retreating once it realizes that humans are not on the menu. This doesn't mean that shark attacks aren't serious, but it does paint a clearer picture of the risk involved. Where do shark attacks happen most? Sharks can be found in oceans across the globe, but certain regions do see a higher number of attacks. The United States consistently reports the most shark attacks, particularly along the coasts of Florida and California. These areas are popular with swimmers, surfers, and divers, activities that can inadvertently draw sharks closer. But even in these regions, attacks are still rare. Other countries with higher shark attack rates include Australia, South Africa, and parts of the Bahamas, where both humans and sharks frequently share the same coastal waters. However, even in these hotspots, the numbers are still extremely low when compared to the millions of people who safely enjoy the ocean every year. When you hear about a shark attack, the first question that usually comes to mind is, why did the shark attack? The idea of a powerful, ancient predator lashing out at a human can be unsettling. But the truth behind these encounters is not as simple as sharks being ruthless killers. In fact, the reasons behind shark attacks are much more complex and often surprising. Let's dive into what really causes sharks to bite and how these attacks occur. 1. Mistaken identity. Not what you think. One of the most common reasons for shark attacks is mistaken identity. Sharks are curious creatures, and they rely heavily on their senses to explore their surroundings. Their vision isn't the sharpest, especially in murky waters, and they often hunt in low-light conditions. Sharks primarily prey on seals and other marine mammals, which have a similar shape and silhouette to a swimmer or surfer. 2. Curiosity and exploration. Sharks are known to be naturally curious creatures. Unlike the violent predators they are often portrayed as, sharks tend to approach unfamiliar objects and beings in the water with cautious investigation. This instinctual curiosity can sometimes lead to what seems like an attack, but is actually a bite to understand the new object, whether it's a swimmer, diver, or surfer. In most cases, after the shark bites, it will retreat, realizing that the person it encountered isn't food. This behavior is often called a test bite. Sharks don't always know what they're dealing with, and this initial bite is their way of gathering information. 3. Feeding frenzy. A shark's hunger. Sharks, like all predators, need to eat, and sometimes a feeding frenzy can contribute to attacks. During certain times of the year, particularly when schools of fish or seals are abundant, sharks may become more aggressive. In these situations, sharks are focused on feeding and can become more territorial or excited. 4. Territorial behavior. Defending their space. Although sharks are not as territorial as other animals, they do have a natural instinct to protect their space, particularly during mating seasons or while feeding. If a shark feels threatened or cornered, it may react defensively. This doesn't mean the shark is actively hunting a human, but rather, it's acting out of survival instincts. Sharks are solitary hunters, and when a person enters their space, they might respond with a quick, defensive bite. Again, these encounters are typically non-fatal, with the shark retreating once it realizes the person is not a threat. While shark attacks are rare, their impact on victims is often long-lasting. The physical injuries can be severe, ranging from minor bites to life-threatening wounds. But the psychological aftermath is just as significant. Many survivors experience PTSD, anxiety, and a fear of returning to the ocean. I was terrified at first, but I slowly learned to face my fear. I still love the ocean, but I respect it even more now. It's part of the process of healing. Understanding these creatures and accepting that the ocean is their home. Sharks, like all wildlife, need our protection. Sadly, overfishing, habitat destruction, and finning have put many shark species at risk. Despite their fearsome reputation, sharks play an essential role in maintaining the health of ocean ecosystems. Sharks are the ocean's top predators, and without them, the balance of marine life would be disrupted. By reducing shark populations, we risk collapsing entire ecosystems that are vital for human life, too. Now, let's talk about how you can stay safe. If you're planning to swim, surf, or dive in shark-prone areas, there are a few precautions you should take. First, avoid swimming at dawn or dusk, as this is when sharks are most active. Second, always swim in groups, as sharks are more likely to approach solitary individuals. And lastly, educate yourself on local shark populations and avoid swimming near schools of fish or seals. Sharks are not the mindless killers they're often portrayed to be. They are complex creatures, vital to our ocean's health, and deserve our respect and protection. Shark attacks are rare, and with education and awareness, we can coexist safely with these magnificent predators. Thank you for joining us today on Nobitchin CTV. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment with your thoughts. And, of course, subscribe for more exciting ocean-related content. Until next time, stay safe and respect the seas.